Welcome to Cooking with Cindy. Since the weather is gloomy on my side of town today, what else is more satisfying than a baked good? I decided to make my chocolate chip walnut banana bread, and I'm going to teach you my recipe as easy as 1, 2, 3. So join me. For this recipe, you will use 3 ripe bananas. Don't worry if they're not completely ripe. As long as they're almost getting there, it should be okay. You will also need 3/4 cup, which amounts to about 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature. You can leave it out for about half an hour or so and it should be okay. Also 1 cup of regular sugar, half cup of dark brown sugar, or if you prefer light brown sugar, 2 eggs, 1 1/3 tablespoon of milk, 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 cup of chocolate chip, and a 2-ounce walnuts bag. You will also need 2 bread loaf pans and some parchment paper. With the parchment paper, I'm actually going to teach you a little trick if you don't already know this. Okay, so I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and now I'm going to go on to mix. So I'm going to mix my 2 eggs along with the sugar, and that's going to be the regular sugar as well as the dark brown sugar. In the room temperature unsalted butter, which is the 12 tablespoons of it. Now, if you can't get it to room temperature because you're in a hurry or whatever, now you can pop it in your microwave for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds or less, and it should be perfectly fine as well. And we're going to mix that together. Banana next into the mix. Now we're going to incorporate our dry ingredients, which include the flour, and we're going to do 2 cups of that. And we are going to mix our baking soda, and that we will need a teaspoon. And then we can mix that. And then as it's mixing, we're going to include our 2-ounce chopped walnuts and then our chocolate chips. And the chocolate chips, if you want them in there, it's fine. If you don't, it's okay. Also, the walnuts, if you have nut allergies or whatever, you can exclude them, or you can change them to whatever nut of your choices. I personally prefer for banana bread the walnuts. And then I'm gonna do a extra dark chocolate, just because I feel like the bread itself will be sweet enough, so why add extra? But milk chocolate is perfectly fine as well. Okay, and I've added the chocolate chips, and now finally I'm going to add the milk. Okay, and here goes the final mix right here. So I want to make sure to scrape up any batter and chocolate chips that might get stuck in here. And so I'm going to clean this bowl up and then place it in my bread pans that I have already lined up with parchment paper. So I like to line up my pans like this with parchment paper, just because it makes the process really easy. Like I said, you just go from the bowl into here, and then once this is done and over with, all you have to do is just pop it out and then put it to cool. So now we're gonna divide this mix into half. So we'll place half into the first one and then the rest into the other one. I like to, in the process, just rearrange if I have to the parchment paper. I want to make sure my corners and sides and everything are completely covered. And then So now I've gone in with my spatula and just try to smooth it out a little and make sure that all the ends are completely covered with the parchment paper. Now, don't worry if you don't have parchment paper, it's okay. This is just a trick I wanted to teach you. You can also just go ahead and like you normally would, you can do it with your vegetable shortening and a little bit of flour and it should be okay. So I put my oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes and I went back and checked, but it still needed a little bit more. It's all depending on your oven. So I gave it 5 extra minutes, and now after I put a fork through it, it looks like it's done. So I'm gonna pull it out. This thing can show you, look how easy that was. And like I said, the cleaning process is so much easier when it comes down to your pots and pans. As you can see, it makes it that much easier just to clean them. So you just got to wipe them down for the most part. So I've let the banana bread cool down for 10 minutes and I also started slicing it. So now we're going to give it a taste. Look at the deliciousness. Okay, so the banana bread is done. So now let's try it. What I like to do personally is I like to spread a little bit of butter on there and then taste it like that. But I'll let you take a look at it as well so you can see how beautiful it looks. You can see the chocolate chips, the walnut. So let's give it a try. I want to take the time now to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the process and the recipe wasn't too difficult to follow.
If you guys have made it this far, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought of this recipe to make.